The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys, and it's coming up next.
We've been here so many times, and you still stand in awe at the size of this place. We're at AT&T Stadium. Welcome to Arlington, Texas. I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Hewitt up here in the booth. And here we are, Brock, final week of the preseason. One last tune-up for stars and starters. And, of course, the game where a lot of these great camp stories will clinch a spot on that Week 1 roster.
And I never tire of these great camp stories. And they come from all different backgrounds. Some are undrafted guys, some are vets with a restart on their career. But they use the preseason, in this game in particular, to springboard some momentum into the regular season.
Ball teed up. Brandon Aubrey out for the kick. And off we go from Dallas. Here's a return from the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the fifth-year pro who can really fill up a stat sheet, Justin Herbert.
Hey, let's be honest. The only reason the Chargers drafted in the top 5 was because Justin Herbert wasn't available all season long. An injury cut short his year, but it really didn't cut short his production while he was playing. Still over 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Kid, I can tell you, this is one guy that I love. I mean, I love to watch throw a football.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Here's a give inside to Edwards. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
He's trying to lay it in deep along the right sideline. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that will give them some serious momentum along with a 1st down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. 1st down, he keeps it left on the option. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Throwing now, off play action. Throw right side, and that one's hauled in. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
You know what I love about this? Never showing panic. When he leaves the pocket, look at his eyes. They continue to search downfield. They're never looking at the rush. They're finding the open man downfield before running out of real estate.
To the air, 3rd and long. Pass complete on the screen. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Option give here. And he may have just reached the edge of the red zone before going down. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Throwing now, Herbert. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
I mean, you could see it right there. The trajectory of the ball changed as it was in flight. You know, on shorter throws, receivers, they can focus, they can adjust quickly. But on a long-distance throw like that, a tip, well, it really alters the course of the ball and makes it so tough to make an adjustment in time.
And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Very short kick taken at the 19. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. Bringing him out, coming off one of his best seasons as a pro, an MVP runner-up finish in year number 9, Dak Prescott.
Or not for some guy named Lamar Jackson up there in Baltimore. I think Dak Prescott would have won MVP last year. Had his best season statistically. Total control of that Cowboy offense. Over 4,500 yards. And remember, he led in touchdown passes with 36. But we know what it's all about in Dallas. It's not what you do in the beginning. It's how it finishes. And can you take those steps in the playoffs?
To throw, Prescott. Got a man open, complete. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
You know what I like about that kick? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Play action on first down. He's throwing deep to the left side. He's got it inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys just need 2 snaps to steal the lead. There sure was a lot of trust on that play, Brock, and he proved worthy of it with that end result.
Yeah, good old receiver. Someone who just knows how to get it into the end zone is worth his weight in gold to a QB. And on that throw, there was trust there that he had a shot to find pay dirt.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. That one splits the uprights, and they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. His return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Chargers getting their offense set for their second drive. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. great blocking to spring him. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Running it again with Dobbins. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Able to hit Palmer, complete. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete beyond the marker. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it brings up an LA first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll run here on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Here's Herbert. Got a man. Coverage lost him. Complete. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the 1st.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
All right, set now. 1st and 10. They go play action here. Complete out to the right. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So it's gonna be 3rd and short coming up.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
3rd down from the gun. He has the 1st over the middle. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Option design here. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They'll send their tight end right. Sticking with Edwards here. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers hold a slim 2-point lead early. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Short kick here, fielded at the 17. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Dallas sending its offense out for the second time this game. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. They've got first down from the 31. Now Prescott. That one's complete right side. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Ball on the 45, first and 10. Trying an inside give to Elliott. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Prescott. Fires over the middle, caught. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Chargers territory. One yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Once again, Elliott. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They go play action on first. He's got it at the 5. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. They get 19, and now they're going to have first and goal.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Working inside the red zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys take a field goal lead in our opening quarter. Well, Brock, you know this better the most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. This return starts at the 5. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. Now LA getting its offense all set to go. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Complete out to the right side. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They won't snap it in time. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. Back to AT&T Stadium in just a moment. We're back and all set for the second quarter. Charger football. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Chargers will have a first.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards, but they'll take that every single time.
On the ground, it's Edwards again. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you can be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
2nd and 13. He's got it, room to run. And he'll take it past the midfield stripe and start the push into Cowboys territory.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
Cowboys sending out the dime package, 3rd down. That's caught for the first. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers take a second quarter lead. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Dicker on now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. kicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. The return starts at the 18. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. The Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott ready to get back to work. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Prescott to throw. Ferguson's got it, complete. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just 1 play. Back to throw. Here's Dak. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball. Left side. He's got it. Complete. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw. When you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys take a 2nd quarter lead. So, Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the first half of play.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And that's where they'll begin the drive following the return. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Handoff headed right, it's Edwards. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Back to the well again. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. 3 yards puts them back on the right track. Now they've got 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Here's Herbert. Open receiver. Caught. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Trying his left side with Edwards. And he's brought down for a loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. To throw, Herbert. Hurst there to grab it. And that will not be enough for a first down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Now Herbert to throw. That throw finds Johnston. And they get this down to the 28. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run the option to the short side. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Herbert. That's incomplete left side. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing now, Herbert. That one doesn't find its man, incomplete.
So many coaches love third downs and practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these third downs.
So on 4th down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. Ball on the right hash, 48 yards out.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Things trim back down to a single-point rock as they send this off and away. Returning it from the 16. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott just about set to get going on offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. They've got first down from the 31. Elliott straight ahead. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 36. Short pass caught by his tight end. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
To throw is Prescott. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fair to say, in the eye in the sky didn't lie, without that ball being tipped, we were looking at the big game. A missed opportunity to push their offense and a great play on the other side to deny the throw.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Here's Dak. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
They'll throw on third and long. Complete beyond the marker. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Elliott running out of the gun. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Right back to Elliott now. And they'll get there and stop him at the line. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Throwing on 3rd and long. He throws a bullet deep to the right side.
The trajectory of that ball changes while it's in flight. I'll tell you this, Kate, on shorter throws, these receivers are so good to adjust, can still bring it in. But over a long distance, a tip like that alters the course of the ball, and it sure makes it tough to adjust in time.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll push their lead to 4.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Aubrey now just inside the 25 on the return. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year is over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Herbert back to throw. Got him in over the middle. Complete. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he's just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
The Cowboys signaling for their first time out. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. And the Cowboys bringing on an extra DB here. 3rd down coming. Here's Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds at his own 45. To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Herbert now. Hauled in by Dobbins. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. From just shy of midfield on 2nd down. Got a man open, complete. And he's out of bounds just inside the red zone. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Working inside the red zone. Edwards got it. And he's going to reach the 6 before he goes out. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Throwing it again here. And down he goes. The Cowboy defense gets it to him. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
You know, we do enough of these games, Kate, and I am a big fan of creativity. And the QBs today are some of the best to ever do it. That's a situation where you got to know on 1st down, it's not time to be creative, especially if you feel the heat coming defensively. Just find a way to throw that sucker in the 1st row.
It's 2nd and goal. Another try following the sack. The throw is caught. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun here. Throw left side, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers get some late points and the lead. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
Dicker on now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Return coming from the 14. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. The Cowboys returning their offense and this running back to the field. They don't have much time left, but facing a small deficit, they could try to get this into field goal range. Only half a minute to go in our half. Let's see how they begin the drive. Prescott to throw. He finds the open man there, complete. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. Now Dallas is going to call its second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Dak to the air here. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. Final timeout taken by the Cowboys. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. They really need some chunk yardage here on second down. Trying again, following the sack. And they get to him again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with third down. We've reached the break. The Chargers visitors, but fighting out to an early advantage. Now we'll send you east to our studios in Orlando. That's where Jonathan Coachman is waiting to bring you the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. The final game on the preseason schedule for these two teams. After this comes final cut downs, and then we get started for real. The countdown is on for the NFL kickoff game on the Thursday after Labor Day. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. The home team's ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Back to throw, here's Dak. He's on the move, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Kate, speaking from experience here, what happens now with the third sack allowed, especially on an early down like that, is that head coach and coordinator going to have a conversation. Okay, we got to fix this. Do we slide? Do we chip? Do we keep more people in? Because the one thing you can't do is keep getting your quarterback hit.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Looking right, and he finds him. We'll head out of bounds after a small gain.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Gotta figure out this third down here. Prescott will look to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. Well, most drives should end right there, but they beat the defense and convert on 3rd and 17.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st down, they'll run. And he'll advance this down to the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Running for the marker on 2nd. And they bring him down around the 34. Now hang on, we do have to stop here for something that nobody wants to see a week before the season. We've got an injured player there, and it's somebody they can ill afford to lose. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. And he's got a nice run. That reaches the 26. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Not that he needed to, but he'll always try and remind people that he's a threat running it, in addition to slinging it all over the field.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Changing things up, they're going to throw now. That's going to be caught by Cooks. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys take the lead right away in half number 2. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Bronk. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. That one splits the uprights, and they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And that's where they'll begin the drive following the return. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake here. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. He puts some power on a deep one left. He makes the catch. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a 33-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Big play gets him across midfield, sets him up 1st and 10 from the 40. Here's a give inside to Edwards. And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
2nd and 6 now. Open receiver, caught. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Herbert. The back grabs it. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
2nd and 3 now. Here's a give up the middle. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers grab the lead on their 1st series of the half. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Dicker on now for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. All lined up and ready to boot it away. Kickoff taken at the 13. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. It's caught, Ferguson. And he's gonna bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
New set of downs for him from the 46. They give it to him again. And he's held up short of midfield after a small gain. The rookie from Michigan there that time. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Back now, pressure on its way. It's taken in by Lamb. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Now carried by Elliott. Avoids the defender. We've got a foot race. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on because one-on-one, he's going to run right through you.
Play action on first down. Got a man, coverage lost him, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys take a third-quarter lead. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going. Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he got all of that one, that's for sure. But with our new kickoff rules in play this year, that means the football's going to be spotted at the 30. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. First and 10 now from the 30. Herbert back to throw. Complete over the middle to the big tight end. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And it brings up an LA first down.
I think the defense is still turned around looking for where the ball is because that QB and tight ends, they got that ball out in a hurry.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. They go play action on first. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Here's Herbert. Able to hit Palmer, complete. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on the drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
No hesitation, and that one's caught. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Running behind center with Edwards. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even ripped through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Now Herbert to throw. Cut near the goal line. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers take a 3rd quarter lead. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
This is the time of the game where your legs just get a little bit tired, but that was a determined-looking drive right there. They were not going to be denied, and they're able to score and take the lead.
Dicker on now for the PAT. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Short kick here, fielded at the 15. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. They've got first down from the 31. Prescott to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes out, just needed one more step to reach midfield. That play good for 17 and a first down.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
Caught on the left side. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. This is Elliott running right. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
You know what I like about a second and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
1st and 10 from the 41. Back-to-back carries here. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. The Cowboys have it, but some work to do in the final frame. They're trailing. Second and 6 coming up here. From the 37. He throws a bullet to the center of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys take a 4th quarter lead. 3 touchdown catches in one game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting it on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they could find a way to win this one, is this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
Now a try to go up by 4, put it out of the range of a field goal. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll go from the gun with Edwards. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
See the pass, time up your hit, and jar that ball loose. Not a lot of players are hanging on to a well-placed hit like that one.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. He has the first over the middle. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. To throw, Herbert. Cowboys rush it in, and they bring him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, it's so common that we talk about quarterbacks flushing a negative play, but defenses have to do the same thing as well. When you give up a big play, you got to regroup, you got to calm yourself, and you got to know it's all about the next play. And delivering a sack like that certainly helps.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Looking right, and he brings it in. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Herbert. Able to get it to Edwards. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And the Chargers will have a first.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed. Enough to keep this drive moving.
They'll run here on 1st down. And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Sticking with Edwards here. Fighting for the goal line. Oh, he lost it. Someone punched it out. And the Cowboys scoop it up.
Put a check mark by that one. You're going to remember that one, not just over the course of this game, but I guarantee you in the offseason when you're watching effort. That was all about effort. Backs pressed against the wall when you're down here defensively. And that's the type of play that coaches love to see from everyone on the roster.
Offense headed back out there now for Dallas. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Option design here. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He finds the open man there, complete. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And it'll be 1st down, Dallas.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Once again, Elliott. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third and a lone yard coming up. Another carry for him. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
They're now set for 1st and 10. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
From the 24. To the sideline, catch secured. Wow, he made that one look easy for the first.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. From the red zone now. He's got it, room to run. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys capitalize on the turnover and add to their lead. C.D. Lamb with the touchdown. You always tell me, Brock, it is a whole different world here, running routes, working in confined spaces, instead of having that whole field to spread out a defense.
Oh, spot on, Caden. Some players, that's the world they thrive in, finding windows where windows shouldn't exist and then being ready for the throw to arrive. It happens so fast. Trusting your quarterback to make the right read and get it to you.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. That one splits the uprights, and they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. He's got a lane up past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. And last drive, he reached one of those numbers that everyone looks at as a benchmark after the season ends, Brock. Quite the year that he's put together, finding the end zone. Ball at the 33 for first down. Herbert. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's down after getting this up to the 41.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Handoff on second and short. Broke through the tackle. And it's a nice gain off a really good effort there just to stay upright. It's a gain of 4. And it brings up an LA first down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Herbert back to throw. That's complete to Dobbins. Juke the defender. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Breaks the tackle, still going. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play. And the Chargers will have a first.
On my play sheet, Kate, I've got draws and screens in the same area. Those are the areas you want to attack a defense when they're getting too far upfield. That defense got upfield, and that draw did the rest.
Completed here to Johnston. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers make it a one-score game. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right, when you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
Crucial moment of the game here as the Chargers try for 2. Motioning one of the tight ends. He's throwing for it! And they get the 2-point conversion. He's in the lead, only a field goal now. Critical 2-point play there, Brock. The conversion puts them now in range of tying this sucker up with a field goal.
So different for everybody in the building, right? A 3-point game, and especially different for the kicker. He wasn't needed there, but get yourself ready. Your defense does the job. You may need a game-tying field goal at some point soon.
Raleigh's set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Returning in from the 16. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The home teams and wide receiver Brandon Cook set to take over now. And this really looks like a whole different ball game after that touchdown, doesn't it? They really need to go on a drive here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing now, off play action. Defense is too much here. The Chargers drag him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You're going to go play action, Kate. You've got to sell, sell, sell. If you don't convince that defense you're running it, or if it's a situation where you never run the ball, you really do leave your quarterback dead in the water, vulnerable against a defense who will storm right past that fake and right into that pocket.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. They'll motion Lamb right. They'll run now on 2nd down. And he'll get it up to the 27.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
We've reached the 2-minute warning from Dallas. Cowboys only up by a few. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. He's back to throw. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. Not on the same page that time. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and third downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. Fair catch called for, and he's got it right near the 30-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the offense ready to head back out onto the field. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Looking to throw it. Tight end reels in the shallow throw. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Clock working against him here as they hurry to that line. To throw. And that catch is made down the right sideline. Great effort there. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it brings up an LA 1st down. And someone has officially flown higher than the Dutchman, Brock. That completion pushes him past Norm Van Brocklin for the most passing yards in a game in NFL history. The mark of 554 yards has stood resolute since back in 1951, and 7 decades later, someone has finally topped it. Escapes the pocket. He's going to pull this one down and run with it. And just how they teach you, he gets a chunk of yards and slides down at the end to protect himself. They get 13 on the pickup, and the Chargers will have a 1st.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers take the lead right at the end. So what a finish this is shaping up to be. The late touchdown here, Brock, moves them in front.
And week to week, what a pleasure it is for us to call these games. We never know what kind of game we're going to get. This one's been everything you could have wanted. And now, even though they've taken the lead, there's still enough time on that other sideline for them to go mount a response.
Now a crucial point after to stretch the lead beyond a field goal. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Short kick here, fielded at the 17. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. They get that big old marker out, cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Throwing now. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. Now to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Now Dallas is going to call its second timeout. Still 1 more in their pocket to use. Offense to the line for 1st down, conscious of that single timeout they've got remaining. Here he is to throw. This one falls incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So 2nd down coming up.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
Back to throw. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys, barring a miracle, will win this game. Absolutely clutch score there, Brock, as they take the lead here in the final minute.
Incredible execution. The moment not too big for any of them. And, Kate, they cashed in when it really mattered.
Extra point upcoming. This to put it to a field goal game. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. His return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw it. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers pull it off and should win this game. Now, I know that's one of his favorite routes to run, Brock, but that has got to be one of a quarterback's favorite throws to make as well, right? Drop it in over the defender and take the lid off the D for 6.
Because it is so simple. It's something that these two have done and thrown together for years and years. Maybe not to each other, but since Pop Warner. They've been running the go route. Just run right by him, and if you're even, you're leaving, and I'm going to drop it right over the top.
A chance to take their lead beyond a field goal on this point after. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. linebacker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Trying to push it deep downfield. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drive today. This game is over. So the Chargers take this one on the road. And this victory is going to give them a nice shot of confidence as they work through the next couple of weeks and prepare for things to count coming up in Week 1. So that'll do it for this one. With Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. It's a win for the Chargers as we say so long from Dallas.